Hello everyone, and welcome to this special edition of Blackwell Adventures. It's kind of like 60 Minutes, but it's not. We're joined today by the president and founder of this marvelous YouTube channel that is taking the nation by storm. He is an artist, a philanthropist, bicyclist, and we are just happy to have him here with us. Please welcome Casey Blackwell.
Pleasure to be here with you. Thank you. Thank you.
So, this is a question and answer, a Q&A, if you will.
So, I've wanted to do this for a while.
Yeah.
And I don't have the equipment. You
No.
do. You do.
Yeah.
So, we thought it would be fun to post a video, which we did last week, asking viewers to post some questions they might have about me or the channel. And we did get quite a few responses. So, I'm going to have you interview me.
Right. Okay. All right. So we've got some questions here. We're gonna dive right in. I really hope these.
Let's go.
Let's do. Okay. If you could be a contestant on any game show, which would you choose and why? This is a legit question. People want to know.
Price is Right's may be hard to beat. I mean, if it was a single participation award, I'd probably try and do Price is Right. I'm pretty good at math. Next question.
Do you prefer sweet or savory snacks, you fat pig?
Oh, do we have enough of this interview? I think that's enough. I am probably more of a sweet tooth. Recently, since I've been diagnosed diabetic, I really crave the sweets, but I would have said savory up to several years ago.
I am absolutely savory.
That's wonderful.
I will sit and eat a bucket of pretzels.
I thought we were talking about me here.
Oh, yeah. All right. Let me ask you this, Case. So, in your adventures, you do these videos. You showcase a lot of different things that you like to do and things you enjoy. What's your favorite place in your travels that you've ever visited?
I would say Gatlinburg was a lot of fun. Went down there with the Zimmerman family and my family for a vacation last summer.
You mean Ryan Zimmerman from Blackwell Adventures?
Yes, one of the co-stars of Blackwell Adventures.
Next question.
If you have any questions yourself, like if you want to ask
how
we got started.
You have lots of viewers here that want to know things. We want to get that.
Well, maybe
I'll get. Oh. May I do the thinking, please? Thank you. This next question is a great one, and I can answer it for you. It says, "What are your favorite books?" But you don't read, so we can just go ahead and skip that.
My favorite books are probably like self-help books, actually.
Like how to read?
No, like Mike Voss wrote a book called "Never Split the Difference." He was a FBI hostage negotiator. That's a good one for people that are in sales. And also
Negotiating for lives?
Well, you transfer that into everyday life. And also Jocko Willink and Leif Babin, two Navy SEALs, have wrote books on extreme ownership, which is different ways to lead, which I like those books as well.
I didn't know you read.
There's some things you don't know about me, Keith.
Okay, how about this? What was the most challenging part of getting your YouTube channel started and creating your first video?
Well, let's back up. So this whole thing started from my kids that I had planned. My first video ever was maple syrup. Trees to table maple syrup, how to do it. And I had no intention of filming it or starting a YouTube channel, and it was suggested by my kids, "Dad, you ought to film this." And it was like, why? Well, because you could put it on YouTube. What for? Because people will watch it. Okay. So that was in and of itself a challenge to not only think of different ideas that people may enjoy watching, but think of fun, different things to do that somebody may search to try and find information on. So the biggest challenge is trying to come up with content that I can afford to do and that people will enjoy watching.
Sounds like you need some sponsorship. Shameless plug.
do it.
That brings us to our next question. It says, what equipment and software do you use to record and edit your videos?
So believe it or not, 99% of my videos are recorded on an iPhone. And the software that I purchased to edit the videos is called WeVideo. It's an online software. You can purchase different tiers of it and then basically use it. It's a web-based software that you can use on any laptop. And that's how I get different clips, snippets, add fades, add transitions, change the volume. You can do all sorts of different stuff on it.
So you're getting more and more into this whole idea, your kids taught you about there's this world out there of making videos that other people will watch. There's this world of YouTube and YouTubing and YouTubers. So the question is, now that you've gotten more into this, I'm sure you've been watching more things. Do you have a favorite YouTube channel or a YouTuber that you like to follow?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, so I probably can't pick one. But I have several favorites. Outdoor Boys ranks right up there at the top.
Yeah, they're awesome.
So Luke Nichols and his three boys that he does stuff with that's an inspiration to watch what he's been able to do. And I really only started getting into that as my kids are like showing me these things. And I actually think that your children were into Outdoor Boys first and then introduced it to my kids. So Outdoor Boys is top. Bush Radical is another one that I watch constantly. His brother, Black Spruce. My buddy Kevin from Modern Self-Reliance. And
that's your buddy?
Well, I've commented on some of his videos. He has never really reached back out, but I think if we met, we'd be friends. But I will say, I do have a guy that I communicate with on the regular, and that is Chris, that runs Third Coast Craftsman. He's from up in Michigan. The chicken coop idea was actually brought. We bought the plans from him to build the chicken coop. Ryan and I did.
How long does it take to edit your average length video? So when you do your, anywhere from 8 to 20 minute videos, how long does it take you to sit down and edit those after you're done filming?
So it takes a long time to download all the different footage into the software in order to then start editing. So I would think the download would probably take about half an hour to an hour, depending on how many clips there are or how many segments. And then the actual sitting down and editing for every, let's say, 15-minute video is probably somewhere around the 2-hour range. And the longer ones, obviously, up to 3 hours.
3 hours, huh?
I'll spend up to 3 hours trying my best to make sure that I have everything right.
That's actually not bad, because I know some, it can take a lot longer than that, depending on how much footage and...
Well, listen, I'm not going for professional quality here. I'm trying to make it as viewable as I can.
If you could choose a company to have your channel be sponsored by, who would you want to be sponsored by?
Probably Lowe's or...
Do-it-yourself?
Or Home Depot or something like that. Only because they
You can do it, we can help.
Only because they have so much material that could be used. Like, some of these places, they're giving these guys the material to build these things, and they say, video sponsored by Lowe's. Well, that's because Lowe's has given them the material to do it.
Well, so speaking of which, then, do you have any other building projects coming up?
So we're finishing the Sugar Shack. That's been probably the longest and most challenging project to date. We have to put flooring in there, insulate it, finish the inside. The outside's just about done. And then the finishing touches and details. So that's in the works and still in the works. Ryan and I are actually working on a project, just in the design phase at this point, but we're going to be building a pretty sweet tree house at his place for his kids. We've been talking about that, so I'm looking forward to that for sure. That's probably going to kick off here this winter. There's an off-grid cabin in the works, separate from the Sugar Shack at a different location. I have some Christmas decor and stuff like that I'm starting to work on.
Oh, we're going to do an exterior illumination film?
Because
I was there last year when we were up on your roof. That should have been filmed.
It should have been. Yes, there will be a specialty Christmas exterior illuminations episode.
Clark Griswold style.
Correct. It's coming. Rifle season, I should say. I have put some archery videos
we did the youth hunt video is out.
We'll put a buck season video out.
Drew Regatta. Here in the youth hunt. That was fun.
Yeah, I'm probably missing some of them, but
Well, how about this? People can see that this video is coming out. We're halfway through November almost already.
right.
You can see there is a lovely Raiders Christmas tree behind you. So I'm in the spirit. Have you started listening to Christmas music yet?
I have.
And usually you make fun of me for jumping the gun.
Well, I feel like I did jump the gun, but Christmas is my favorite holiday. I just love the spirit of Christmas. I love the way the kids get excited. I love decorating for it. There's nothing about it I don't like except for the day after.
Yeah. When the house is like a bomb went off.
House looks like a bomb went off. I gotta wait a full another year till we can do this again.
It's amazing how you build it up so much. There's all this hype leading up to Christmas, and you have the music and the movies that you like to watch, and all this decorating and wrapping, and then it comes and goes, and the day is over, and you're sitting down at 8 o'clock at night on Christmas night thinking, well, that's it. I thought I would just take this opportunity to ask you a couple just fun personal questions that we could discuss, because people want to know. Let's give them some fun stuff about you and me and our childhood and things that they might be interested in with Blackwell Adventures. I wanted to ask you, while we're talking about Christmas music and Christmas time, and this would be a good time people get to know some of your favorites. Do you have a favorite Christmas song? I happen to know one of your favorite Christmas songs, and it is hilarious that you like it. So go ahead, tell the world.
Well, that's not my favorite.
Can you sing it too?
No.
Give us the tune.
Snow is falling, it's a carolers sing. Something, something tree.
It's Kelly Clarkson, to be clear.
Yeah. Okay. I happen to like that song, yes.
Yeah.
But it's not my favorite.
It's one of them.
No, probably my favorite is Oh Holy Night.
By what version? Or
probably the Josh Groban version.
do you know that Josh Groban vibratos every note? Like,
well, I can't do that.
Children sleeping.
I don't think he actually does that.
No, is hardly falling. He does.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. That's why I like it.
Yeah. I like Celine Dion's version of Oh Holy Night. I also really thoroughly enjoy Mariah Carey.
I like the older Christmas songs too.
Like Bing.
Bing's awesome. So is Frank.
Oh, I like Frank. I have Frank's Christmas album. Frank Sinatra, for those of you that don't know. Mistletoe and Holly is a great tune.
Oh my God.
Gosh, by golly.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
So, a lot of good Christmas songs. But, Oh Holy Night's a good one for me, one of my favorite ones. Silent Night is a very moving song for me.
Sounds like you like songs about night. Do you like It Came Upon a Midnight Clear as well?
Well, they all talk about the birth of a
Oh,
Savior.
like you're going to try and twist this around and make it out like I don't care about that?
No, I'm just saying maybe that's why I'm moved by those songs.
They're beautiful songs.
Indeed.
I've sang Oh Holy Night the last how many years at our church service? Maybe.
You did? Never noticed.
Remember that time you tried to read scripture on Christmas Eve and you totally botched it and lost your spot and almost panicked and threw your Bible across the stage and ran off crying?
Well, the botch part happened, but I managed to gather myself after several long seconds and finish it up.
And then you told me you'll
It was
never
very close.
read it
It was
again.
very, very close. I almost kicked the podium off the stage and walked off.
Okay, so Christmas songs. How about your favorite holiday films as we're leading into the holidays?
Thanksgiving,
There's only one.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
That's it.
But I gotta watch that every year.
It's a classic. I love it.
Yeah, of course it is.
John Candy, may he rest in peace.
It's a shame. We get into the Christmas movies. A Christmas Story ranks up there at the top. Christmas Vacation's up at the top. I really like It's a Wonderful Life. That's a good one for me too.
I watched It's a Wonderful Life for the first time last year. First time ever.
Are you serious?
When I was home for Thanksgiving. So our whole family, including you, was at Aunt Kim's for Thanksgiving because I was sick with COVID.
Yeah, I remember.
So my family of four stayed home, and we just had the four of us here, and we just kind of spent the day together, and we decided, hey, let's watch It's a Wonderful Life because we've never watched it. We're not going anywhere.
Right.
Let's sit down and watch it. So we had the fireplace going in the living room, turned the lights down, watched it. I cried.
It's very moving.
moving. I mean, it's long. Like there was some parts in it where I was starting to think like, okay,
Yeah, that Mr. Potter's a real dick. Maybe.
The guy that owns the bank or whatever. Yeah. He's not very nice.
No.
But George. But it was, and then Clarence gets his wings.
Yeah, that boy Clarence.
You said A Christmas Story is at the top. When I was younger, A Christmas Story was always at the top because we always watched the 24 hours Christmas Story at our Blackwell family get together. That was always on the TV.
Right.
So it has that kind of nostalgia for me that it brings back memories of growing up. It's not my favorite anymore because as I've gotten older, there's way better movies now. But that's just like a classic that we've always watched.
Well, I think it translates to me personally because like I had an experience. We had an experience.
The greatest gift that we'd ever receive.
The Red Ryder BB gun was our
go-kart
when we were young, and all we wanted was a go-kart.
Our dad and our Uncle Tom built us a go-kart, unbeknownst to us, and Christmas morning we got a go-kart one year. That was pretty sweet.
And the way that it was done was classic. Because Uncle Tom was always nuts.
Our Uncle Tom always gave us the most ridiculous gifts. And his gift, Dad had us open his gift to us that morning, and it was an empty plastic gas can.
Yeah.
And we're like, what the heck?
And then Dad said, oh, I think that goes with something out back.
Yeah, right. And then
it triggered. We ran out back, and there was a go-kart with a big bow on it sitting out back. It was the greatest gift I had ever or would ever
receive. Right.
Do you ever stop and ponder the good times, like the Christmas Eve times that we had at Nanny and Pappy's house when we were kids, and the playing with our cousins downstairs in the basement, and Nanny cooking everything, and hanging out with our family, and it almost gets you in the feels that we'll never have that again. Did you ever get that? Like, I think about it when I was a kid, even at Kenny and Joyce's house. That side of our family is no longer with us, but we do have grandparents on the other side that are still here. But it's not the same.
Well, I mean, I've often had the thought of, like, when we were kids, Thanksgiving was always at Nanny's during the day, and then we'd have to run over to Grandma and Grandpa Eberly's in the evening, and we'd get there, and Grandma Eberly would always have, we'd have Christmas movies on in the basement, and Grandpa would always have it piping hot with the coal stove to the point where you could hardly stand it, and Grandma always had, like, the little cheese ball with the crackers, and, the Hawaiian punch and ginger ale. I remember those.
Keep your hand out of the screen for the last time.
Oh, am I in your face?
Time.
Right there?
Yep.
Sorry. But I remember, those little things, and yeah, it does make you sad that you'll never have them, but your hope is that you're making new memories now with your kids.
Absolutely. And I hope
but I can't imagine that
they won't be that good.
No, they're not going to be as good as what ours.
But I hope that when my kids get older, they can at least look back with fond memories of the times that they were young with me and Emily.
I hope that our kids look back one day and say, my gosh, Dad and Uncle Keith sure tried.
Yeah.
Hopefully. They made a good effort.
They gave it everything they had.
Okay, so let's move on to other topics.
Sure.
Hunting,
fishing. What do you want to talk about?
I really want to talk about how we're going to wrap up this video.
Let's talk about hunting a little bit.
What do you want to talk about hunting?
That I'm better than you at it.
Oh, great. Should we talk about all the things I'm better than you at?
Name one.
Hair growing.
Moving on.
Well, why don't you tell me what your hopes are for this year? Because normally by now, you would have something going in the freezer, and you don't yet. So, is it desperate time, or you don't?
No, we're not in desperation yet. I have one more chance here. The last day, I'm going to be up at the cabin
for archery.
Yeah, and then obviously we have rifle season coming up right after Thanksgiving. So, not in desperation yet, but rifle season. If it's legal.
I was just going to ask you. So usually in archery, you're only looking for a buck.
Yeah.
I had plenty. If we get to the first day of rifle, so the Saturday after Thanksgiving, and you have not gotten anything yet, will you shoot a doe?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean,
because
you want meat in the freezer.
Yeah, our family does live off of it. You know, we don't buy too much beef anymore. It's usually venison.
Yep, we're the same. So, and luckily for me, my 10-year-old son got a deer for me because I can't do it. So that'll help me.
But that's just another part of like the adventures, the Blackwell adventures, the outdoor stuff. I mean, we grew up learning how to hunt from our dad, and there was a couple other questions I saw in there that I don't think got answered.
Oh, there was?
Yeah, like let's just hit one. There was someone that asked me that what was my favorite video, I believe.
Okay, so what is your favorite video?
I think my favorite video to date was probably the outdoor shower.
I like the outdoor shower.
Because I was able to do it start to finish in one episode, in one 10-minute episode or whatever it ended up being. Even though it took quite a bit longer than that to do. But then I got to like enjoy it immediately. We put that in Memorial Day weekend at the cabin, and everyone was using it. Everyone was loving it. So I mean, because of the use we're getting out of it still, and because of the project itself, and it's currently has the most views of any of the videos that I've done. So I would say that's probably my favorite one.
Here's a question from at the Steelers Champs.
Yeah.
Okay, so you probably know who that is.
I do.
Okay, they want to know who dressed you this morning.
Why does that matter?
I don't know. They're asking.
Apparently, that person thinks that I'm not competent. My wife. Well, she late. Yeah, my wife.
She dressed you?
Yeah.
Does she pack your lunch?
Sometimes. This morning, she tied my shoes too tight, so I've had that to deal with all day. Some sponsorships coming up this year. Allen Manufacturing is going to be one. Lance Insulation is going to be one. There's a couple other people that have reached out to me about how can they help, how can they sponsor. So that's awesome. This wasn't ever started as a second job or as a make money type of thing. This was started because the kids suggested we should do it because people will watch it. Now, if one of the benefits from that is that I can start to get reduced pricing on the materials that I'm using or donations on the materials that I'm using, that's fantastic. That's phenomenal. I don't really have the desire or the need to do this full time unless we would ever.
Let's be honest. If this would take off to the level that you could do it full time, you would.
Yeah. I mean, it would. Yes, it'd have to be at a level of, money's not a problem anymore. It's I'm well clear of my current salary and have extra to do different things. I mean, it'd have to be to that point. But yeah, if it would get there, like this has been a passion of mine for about a year now, and I love every aspect of it. I love coming up with ideas and just brainstorming about them and thinking about them, and it's a constant thing. You're always thinking of the next thing you could do, even when you're 2 projects deep. Well, what's the next thing that I could do? So I love that part of it. Trying to film it to the best of my ability, which every video I'm learning something else and learning as I go. And then the editing part of it, I thoroughly enjoy sitting there and trying to create something that other people will like. So,
does it ever feel like a grind? Is there ever weeks or where you just know I gotta get a video out because I haven't had one out for a while, and you're just maybe you're not even as excited about that video, but you got to get something out?
There's been some times that I have felt that way and done that, yes. And typically the videos that I don't put my heart in
aren't good.
Don't turn out well, and they don't get a lot of views. So I'd rather wait a month and then put a high quality video out there that's something that's pretty entertaining and something that people would watch. Yeah.
Well, the video quality has definitely improved. If you look back at our maple syrup video, that was using a kid's video camera with horrible quality, and the sound was bad and the video quality was bad, and I did the best I could
on that
with what I had.
Oh, I'm not. No
but
fault.
Now, since we've gotten better sound, there's a couple videos there that are using mics that improve sound, and then we went to the iPhones. And
there's one thing that I learned early on. The kids want to be involved. They want to help do this, particularly my kids, and your kids I've had in a few episodes too. They love it. What I can't have them do is film.
What do you mean? What's the problem?
Well, they're only 3 feet off the ground. That's one, so you're looking up at everything. And 2, they don't understand that it's not easy to get a good shot when you're moving or walking because your arms don't can't move. It's just you're walking and trying to hold as still as you can. Otherwise, you get nauseous watching the video. So the first video, the maple syrup video, the content was good. The how-to was good. The final product that we poured over the pancakes and ate was phenomenal. But I'm looking forward to this year because I plan to do a much.
I was just going to ask you. Let's do a maple syrup part 2.
There will be.
So we can kind of redeem ourselves on that.
The goal is to have the Sugar Shack dried in and heated and ready to go, so that we can do the maple syrup part 2 this year and do a much better quality, more tutorial, every step type of.
It was not bad for our first video.
No, a lot of people liked it. I mean, we have 400 views, 470 views, something like that on it. But
what's the shower up to? It's over 1,000.
The shower's over 5,000.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we need to do more of those how-tos.
Yeah, I'd love to. It's just they're time consuming.
You know what was surprisingly popular video that you did was the Amish wash line.
Yeah, I know that one took off, and I thought like.
Well, it was how-to, it was informative, and it was short. I think sometimes some of our videos your videos are longer, and depending on what it is, people don't have 20 minutes to sit there and watch a YouTube video.
Right.
But they have 6 minutes to watch a cool how-to video.
Right. See, I'm different though, and I've had to accept that I will watch a video if it's a start to finish how to build a cabin or how to build something. I'll put it on. I'll sit there for an hour. I love watching Bucking Billy Ray just on like how to cut trees down with a chainsaw, and that's what the man does. He services chainsaws and fixes them up and cuts trees down. That's his life. But just some of the things I've learned on different ways to cut and different ways to get trees to lean right and different hinges, and I just love learning stuff, no matter what it is, really.
Isn't it crazy to think about how YouTube has become like a thing? Like, 15 years ago, 20 years ago,
I had no idea what it was.
It didn't even. Yeah, it was, and now, like, people aspire to be a YouTuber. Like, it's now a thing to make homemade videos and get tons of views and get sponsorships.
That's not my end goal.
No, I understand that.
But I enjoy doing it. It's fun to do. And there's been some times where, there's people, and you'll find this, no matter what you do, no matter what you post, whether you're just trying to entertain people for fun or not, they will find a way to tear you apart. And you just have to realize that you got to have thick skin if you're going to do this, because there's some people that are literally just looking for a fight. So you can't feed into that and post something. I'm learning something, and that was just one of those times I did.
I'm really glad we could do this. I couldn't think of anything else I'd rather spend my time doing.
Well, see, you're being negative.
No,
okay. I think there might be a little jealousy in that tone.
How would you define success?
Hey, girls.
Yeah.
Are you having fun?
Yes. I'm not even scared anymore.
Thanks for watching, and
Well, I do. Thanks again, everybody, for your support throughout the channel. Really appreciate you. Couldn't do it without you guys. Thanks to Keith for sitting down with me and coming up with some of these questions on his own. And thank you to all you guys who submitted questions. Hopefully we got your answers for you. If you like what we're doing here, please hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next one.